Sanguine Art is completely changing Blox Fruit's PvP, but not for the reason that you think, and I'm going to show you why and how to completely counter it so you win your next 1v1. As always, each video has a Perm Fruit giveaway, including this one. Leave a comment and you might win, and we'll update the pinned comment to show who won in that video. On this channel, we focus purely on the PvP aspects of Blox Fruit, so watch a different video on how to unlock Sanguine Art. This channel is all about getting into the nitty-gritty, the deep details, the nerds. So let's go. Sanguine Art has some similarities to the other fighting styles like GodHuman, and it even has a pseudo pull move like Spunky Trident. In my opinion, GodHuman still rivals this fighting style because GodHuman C, in my opinion, is one of the strongest moves in the game. It has a huge grab, iframes, and one of the strongest combo starters in the game, but Sanguine Z is like a miniature GodHuman C. So let's start with that move. Sanguine Z has a cooldown of 8 seconds. It grabs at a much shorter range, but it also lifesteals, and that's what makes Sanguine Art really unique. Sanguine Z is much weaker when you're getting teamed than GodHuman C because there are no iframes or invincibility frames, but it's super strong in a 1v1 since it stuns your opponent for the lifesteal animation and starts combos similar to GodHuman C. Z is a two-part move. You have a dash grab that breaks instinct, followed by the life absorb and push. Once the Sanguine Z grab hits, you can't reposition where they're going to go. The grab is deceptively long. You'd think it would just be the distance that you travel, but the bats that extend outward from you, yeah, that's also a hitbox. It's important for you to know both as the user and on the defense so you can respect the space this move can take up. The second part of the move, a lifesteal and absorb, which are both Kentrickable and should be Kentrick. This move on its own is what makes it one of the best fighting styles right now. Lifesteal on an 8-second cooldown. Thank you. Yeah. Let's talk about defenses and how to counter this move. If you get caught in Sanguine Z, instantly Kentrick. Save your instincts for after you get caught because then it won't do a ton of damage. Once you start reading your opponent, you'll know if they start using this as a combo starter or not. If they do, you could pre-charge a move like Rumble C straight down. And if they grab you here, they'll hit you, but you get a guaranteed combo and it should be GG's. Now, quick recap. Kentrick after the grab. And if you know they like to use it as an opener, you can counter it with a pre-charge counter. Moving on to X. X has an 11-second cooldown and it sends claws that tear straight forward with 2 parts to the move. The first part is a projectile that travels, and when the projectile hits something, it explodes. The projectile itself breaks Ken, and on a direct impact, it sends the opponent directly backwards. The explosion, however, pulls anyone around it towards the center of the blast. The explosion is Kentrickable, but with the size of this move, it's better used directly at the opponent versus on the ground. It's a solid Ken break during combos, similar to the projectile GodHuman X. The only difference is it doesn't send predictably like GodHuman X does. This is a pretty decent extender, especially if you hit them directly, it'll send them away and you can follow up with something like Sanguine C. Now, Sanguine C is super strong with multiple properties. If you hit the move dead on, it sends a tendril directly at the opponent. The tendril does not break instinct and it can be dodged. If it does hit directly, it'll pull the opponent in and then summon 4 vampiric tendrils that follow your opponent. These tendrils can be instinct dodged, and it may be worth it to dodge it if you're low on life. When you grab them via direct hit, they'll be pulled towards you in a small distance and follow the angle of the twisted tendril. It's helpful to turn on observation to see where they go for a follow-up with something like Sanguine Z or Acidum M1. Now note, the size of this move is deceptively large. Now if you miss or if they instinct dodge, it does not break instinct and instead creates a giant orb, and that orb spawns a heat-seeking claw after a few seconds that does about 2,000 damage. That claw does break instinct. Now overall, that giant orb that's summoned is a move that's perfect for teaching the concept of stage control. Now how can you use this? Well, use it to deny space. Some opponents will see this orb and try to stay out of that area, which makes sense. I mean, who wants to take damage for free? Some opponents, though, recognize that risk and still advance forward to punish because if you look, you're stuck in the animation for about 1.25 seconds. So aggressive players can get a follow-up on you if you're not ready. Kind of like if you miss Spirit V. Defense-wise, if they miss Sanguine C, you gotta punish it. Punish it. If you have Ken up and they whiff Sanguine C, they're vulnerable for 1.25 seconds, so that's a good amount of time for you to punish, as you can see here with GodHuman Z. If you Kentrick immediately after you get hit, you have a split-second window where you can dash earlier. Also, once you know their combo rotation and you know where Sanguine C fits into their combo, make sure you save your Ken for it because it's a pretty free punish. Just be mindful that if you're comboing them, the Sanguine C projectile may linger and hit you, so take that into consideration because you might be low on life or it could interrupt a move that needs to be held or aimed at your opponent. Speaking of combos, let's talk about some combos. As a Blox Fruit main, you can chain close range Dragon C into Shark X. If they don't Kentrick, you can have Sanguine Z into C followed by X, then Shark Z for the knockup into a Dragon Z Fire Blast for the kill. The rest of these will be for my sword main. Shark X combos into any extender, so for Sanguine, I like Sanguine Z into C followed by X, then Shark Z to throw them up from there. For CDK, Flash Step Soul Guitar X. Pull them with CDK Z into X, then turn around 180 degrees, and Sanguine Z into C, followed by X. If the combo didn't kill them, the tendrils will. Finally, Midnight Blade. Stun them with any move. We use Rumble X here, then Midnight Z immediately into Sanguine Z, then C into Midnight X, then finish with Sanguine X. The nice thing about Sanguine is you can kind of swap the order of the moves in your combo. Like you could start with X into C, and then followed by Z. And you you can use that as a mix-up. So if your opponent gets used to one type of combo that you're doing, you can switch it up and then it throws off their Kentrick window. Let's jump right into the PvP. Fight number 1, Pop Z is using Dragon here. In mid-fight, he catches me with Soul Guitar Z into Dragon Z. I Shark X where he's at because he's being super aggressive with Cyborg V3. Preliminary combo, but I miss my Sanguine Z. He stays on me and I scoop him with a crazy Sanguine C. Hitbox into a Sidum M1, and that's GG's. Here's a 1v1 against Frog, a Quake bait. I throw out Sanguine Z and miss 8-second cooldown, so no worries here. We dodge each other's Shark Z, so I Shark X as he lands into a combo with Sanguine X and C since Z is still not up and on cooldown. Sanguine Z comes back up right for the kill just in time and lifesteal through GodHuman Z. GG's, Frog. This last fight is against Pop Z again with Spirit. He sets up a bit and catches with Soul Guitar X into a Spirit combo, into GodHuman Z and C, so I Cyborg V3 and Portal X. He Spirit Vs to take up space, so I reposition above and we have a bit of a poking battle. I send Shark Z and catch him as he lands with Shark X into a combo. He Kentricks the Sanguine Z, but the C connects into X. He's a Soul Guitar as a get off me option and catches me with the freeze, but I'm able to Kentrick out of his missed GodHuman. I stay near him in X to see what he does, catch him with Portal Z, but he hits me too, so I can't combo. He walks through my Acidum X and we're both super low, so I know there's some panic. I throw Shark Z and miss, and he's setting up to heal. I miss my Shark X and he Spirit Vs, so I have just a few seconds to get behind him and punish him, and I do so successfully with Portal Z into Acidum Z and Sanguine X for the game. GG's. The lifesteal made all the difference in this one. Now, the elephant in the room, Cyborg V3. Cyborg V3 in general is a great move to use offensively or defensively. Offensively, whenever you force your opponent to stay near you, it burns their dodges and acts like a delayed Ken break. Sanguine Z is a perfect move to pair with Cyborg V3, and shout out to Pop Z for the idea here. In your combo, if you pop Cyborg V3 as they get hit with Sanguine Z, since they're grabbed and held close, their instinct dodges will be broken. This combo is busted, so you need to know how to counter it. The main way to counter Cyborg V3 is the same way that we counter Shark V3, even pre-nerf Shark V3. You have to bait them into using that option early. You can force an opponent or trick an opponent into using Cyborg V3 or Shark V3, either by landing a preliminary combo or getting a full combo. They'll use their Cyborg V3 defensively, and that gives you 30 seconds to know that everything is okay and you can do whatever you want. You have two options if they burn Cyborg V3 defensively when you combo them. You could finish the combo if it can do enough damage to get them low, even through the defensive box. Or you could stop the combo early and just kite your opponent until the V3's down and then shoot for a more full combo later. If you're well-rounded with your kit, most of your moves can be combo starters. This can make your opponent mentally think about popping their V3 early, and they will, and then from there, you know that for the next 30 seconds, Sanguine Z can and should be Kentrick. In this example, I see the pop Cyborg V3 and I back off, knowing the option's down, and then after the 6 seconds is down, I'm able to play aggressive, and here we go, I guarantee the kill. Baiting options is insanely important when dealing with a Shark or a Cyborg main. I want you to change your mindset of thinking moves are just broken, and ground PvP is just unbalanced, because in reality, you can get good enough at playing mind games with your opponent, because they're human. They have habits and reactionary emotions that you can take advantage of. Except Portal V, it has a 13-second cooldown, it's just busted. And that's the breakdown. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something about Sanguine Art or PvP in general. If we missed something cool, let us know in the comments so we can make a part 2. If you like the video, please leave a like or leave a comment below if you want to see us do something else. Of course, we're doing a Perm Fruit giveaway as always, so make sure you leave a comment below, and we'll go ahead and pick the following Monday who won the Perm Fruit. See you next time for the next deep dive.